I also make sure in the strategic planning process that I give these guys some homework before they get there, including we're going to be doing some breakout work. So I want you guys to think about the key components of the breakouts. And I also do some icebreakers. This year, we did Word of the Year. I had everybody stand up for 45 seconds to talk about their Word of the Year and how it helped them.
Welcome to the Small Business Safari, where I help guide you to avoid those traps, pitfalls, and dangers that lurk when navigating the wild world of small business ownership. I'll share those gold nuggets of information and invite guests to help accelerate your ascent up that mountaintop of success. It's a jungle out there, and I want to help you traverse to the levels of owning your own business that can get you bogged down and distract you from achieving your own personal and professional goals. So strap in, adventure team, and let's take a ride through the safari and get you to the mountaintop.
Hey everybody, it's Chris again, and this is Friday, and this is the episode where we keep it light, keep it real, and get you done in 5 minutes. Before I get started, if you can get the word out about the Small Business Safari, that would really appreciate it. I'm getting more and more listeners. We're getting more and more feedback, and we're loving it because we are giving back to everybody who is an aspiring entrepreneur or somebody who wants to scale their business. Of course, I have an expertise in home service. Okay, I really don't, but I try hard and I try to get there. So we have a lot of there, but we've been getting a lot of great interview guests on, and we're lining up even more to help give you the feedback that's going to help you. As I was told before by somebody who's listening, is that love how gritty and how real we keep it. You can't find this in any academic book anywhere. So really love that feedback and love hearing that stuff. So if you get the word out there on the Small Business Safari, really appreciate it. All right, let's get into this week's episode. Alan and I got back in studio by ourselves just to talk about the value of strategic planning. It is so important that you do a strategic planning, at least a thought process and a beginning. And we even said, even with one employee, you ought to be able to do it. A strategic planning process is important if you do it right. So let's talk about the components of doing it right. Number one, you need to have a strategic plan where you can help develop the line of sight and what's going on in that crazy entrepreneurial head of yours so your team will execute like you want with a 1 year goal and 1 year horizon on their mentality or their mindset. All too often we get stuck in the day-to-day of taking care of customers and driving our business and doing things. And what you try to do is get these folks to think on a 1 year horizon. 1 year from now, close your eyes. What does success look like for us? And as you go through it, the way I've done it where it's been successful is good, is that we keep it quick. I keep it tight, but there's a couple things I've done. I do it after hours. I do it on a Saturday morning. I don't do it during the week when we're bogged down by that. So I ask people to come along the journey with me of strategic planning. And I realize it's a commitment on their part. And there's strategic plan meetings or take all shapes and sizes and forms. I know people who go for offsite meetings and take off and take a weekend and do a retreat and do it over 2 days because they get a lot of value out of it. You just have to decide what's going to work for you and your business, but definitely getting out of the office, getting people to think about a 1 year horizon is great. In the meeting, we talk about where we've come in the last year. And when you see and start putting down all the things you've done, you should be pretty proud of what's happened in your business, but it's also going to help them help you set up the next year's process. And then we'll start talking about what is the goal. This is the line of sight that I was talking about. Get that stuff out of your head and get it down either on a piece of paper or something that they can see in a presentation so they see where in the hell you were trying to go and where you want to take these guys to go. I also make sure in the strategic planning process that I give these guys some homework before they get there, including we're going to be doing some breakout work. So I want you guys to think about the key components of the breakouts. And I also do some icebreakers. This year, we did Word of the Year. I had everybody stand up for 45 seconds to talk about their Word of the Year and how it helped them. I do that because I want them to get bought into the strategic planning process and help them, help me get to that 1 year goal that's going to help us all. As we do the strategic plan, I make sure I don't bog them down and listen to a whole lot of me. We'll put some videos in there, but we also allow them to break out and use their minds together collectively as a group to help you solve some problems that maybe even you didn't realize that you had, or you didn't have the solution at your fingertips like you'd hoped. Now, strategic planning meetings are great, but strategic planning without execution and follow-up is a total waste of flipping time. Don't even try if you're not going to keep following up and keeping it accountable. When you're holding everybody accountable to it, you do this in this way. You look at the quarterly goals that you're trying to get, and then you start looking at monthly objectives that you're going to show. And then you follow back up in a month with your team and say, remember what we talked about. It would be a shame to leave all of that great knowledge and great work in that room and not share it with our customers and our fellow employees, because it is so important that you get it out and get it using and then follow back up to show people what you're doing. Another key thing that I like with my strategic planning is I pull others into process and working on things with me. So I'm working on a profitability report that we're going to use in my company. I pulled in 2 other people to help me do that. So they felt bought in, but also get that sense of ownership and pride because they want to see your company succeed, because they're always going to ask that question, what's in it for me? What's in it for me is an easier way to do our jobs, and we can all hit our personal and professional goals. So there you go, strategic planning in a nutshell. If you want to know more about it, contact me, hit me up on Instagram. That's the customerservice.freak. You can also email me, chris@thetrustedtoolbox.com, and I'd be happy to share any more information I've got and things that I've done well. And of course, I'll always tell you things that I screwed up on. Until next time, make it a great day, Adventure Team, and we can't wait to share more knowledge and more gold nuggets from the Small Business Safari.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Small Business Safari. Don't forget to go out and rate, review, and follow me. And if you like this episode, go out and check out my other episodes, or check out my Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn for other great content. And remember, your positive attitude will help you achieve your higher altitude in the wild world of small business ownership. Until next time, make it a great day, Adventure Team.